Ethiopian military is conducting military operations in another country, not in Somalia. I am not talking about Somalia because for years the Ethiopian military has been deployed there, but these operations are being conducted in another country. Secondly, like I said, Tolo, Ethiopian communication minister spoke about the situation in the Amhara region 48 hours ago. He made some claims about the control of the region. How much of Amhara is under government control? What did he say? What are Fano fighters saying? Which claim should be taken seriously? Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching, viewers. Good to be with you. Today is Friday, and from Friday we start live chats, three live chats a week. So hopefully at the usual time, 1800 GMT, I'll be back with this week's first live chat. Looking forward to seeing you with the questions and comments. Back to this video. Two main news stories. Is Ethiopian military conducting operations in another country? Well, this is what Ola claimed in a statement a few hours ago. Oromo Liberation Army issued a statement today. Ola says that Ethiopian military is conducting operations in a neighboring country. Operation is targeting unarmed civilians. Ola says that in northern Kenya, Ethiopian military is conducting operation and killing Boranas. Unarmed Borana civilians, Oromos, are being killed by the Ethiopian military in this operation. This operation constitutes violation of Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And through today's statement, Ola asked Kenyan government to stop these operations. That Kenyan government should not allow its soil to be used by military of another country. Ola says that the political decisions being made by the Prosperity Party government are creating problems for Ethiopians living in other parts of the world. Ola mentioned deportation of civilians from Djibouti, that Ethiopians from Djibouti are being expelled. All that is happening because of poor policy of the Ethiopian federal government. And we know that, by the way, that Ethiopian and Kenyan militaries have been conducting a joint security operation against the Oromo Liberation Army. All our fighters are based in Kenya, in Ethiopian border areas. And a few weeks ago, Kenyan police officers confirmed the operation against Ola. Some facilitators for Ola were arrested in Kenya. So Ola fighters are now being bombarded by both security forces on both sides of the border, Ethiopia-Kenya border. Security operations simultaneously being conducted by Kenyan and Ethiopian forces. But the operations were being conducted in their respective territories. This is the first time that we are hearing that Ethiopian military is conducting operations not in Ethiopia but in Kenya. If it is happening, by the way, it means that Kenyan government and Ethiopian government are fully on board. It was Kenya. We didn't allow Jawar to launch his book. Jawar had to go to Europe to launch his book. His book launching ceremony in Nairobi, Kenya was postponed because of federal government of Ethiopia's intervention. Ruto and Abiy are on good terms. And Abiy wants Ruto to ensure that Kenyan soil is not used by any group, political or armed, against the Ethiopian government. That is why Ruto told Jawar to leave. And Ruto's military, Ruto's police is conducting an operation against the Oromo Liberation Army. Why would Ethiopian military just kill Borana civilians in Kenya? Why? Will Kenyan government allow that? Operation is against Ola. Ola is feeling the pinch of this operation. That is why Ola is trying to beg Kenyan government to stop this operation. Kenyan government already on board. Kenyan government is worried about growing influx of armed groups in Kenya. Influence creeping into Kenya from Somalia, from Ethiopia. That is why Kenyan government supports such military operations. They are not deploying their forces for these operations. It's ENDF which is facing Ola in Oromo, and if Ola fighters resist, who will suffer the losses? Ethiopian National Defense Force, not Kenyan military. At the same, Kenya has given the go-ahead to Ethiopian military to conduct operations against Ola, not just in Ethiopia but in Kenya. Second was how much of Amhara region is under government control. Well, firstly, the conflict in Amhara began 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago, Fano fighters refused to be disarmed. They took up arms and they started a movement to topple Amhara regional government and Ethiopian federal government. At one time, they were in control of some key cities and airports in Amhara, but things changed after the imposition of state of emergency. After the launch of security operations, several full-fledged operations have been conducted by military in the Amhara region. Which side has an advantage, you don't know, but there is basically a stalemate. Like I said, Tolo, the Ethiopian communication minister, spoke yesterday, and he talked about operation against Fano fighters in the Amhara region. Like I said, made a big claim. He said 90% of Amhara is under government control. He said hit and run attacks, explosions, robbing happen everywhere in the world. It does not mean that the areas where these incidents are happening are not under government control. 90% is under government control. A few days ago, fighters claimed that 80% of Amhara is under their control. So who is lying? Definitely one of the two sides is lying, either the government or Fano. I think truth is somewhere in between. Fano not in control of 80%. Ethiopian government not in control of 90%. I would say Fano has less than 50% territory. 30 to 40%, you can say. And most of the territories under Fano are not urban. If you're based in a forest, it does not mean that entire forest is under your control. Question is, how capable are Fano fighters now? Are they more capable? Are they stronger? Have their capabilities been weakened considerably? These are the questions to be asked. The territorial control keeps on changing. Today, Fano could have been in control of 10 cities. Tomorrow, Fano might withdraw. A measure of Fano's strength is their capability to hit. They're still capable. They can carry out attacks anywhere in the Amhara region. They tried to push into Addis Ababa through Oromo. They faced punishment by Oromo forces, Oromo regional forces, and they had to retreat. All their focus is on the Horn of Africa, on Ethiopia, not Horn of Africa, on Ethiopia. And in Ethiopia, they want to capture Amhara regional government. After that, they might make a move towards Addis Ababa, the capital. Both sides lying, both sides exaggerating, but we can sum up by saying that Amhara region is destabilized, people suffering, education suspended, healthcare activities suspended to common man in Amhara is the victim. Thank you for watching.